Good morning, class. I am going to break this up in a couple different aspects. First thing I want you to do is go to your Blackboard. First of all, this is for this section of the lecture is going to be all about your final paper. I'm just going to kind of summarize a few key points that are important that I want you to focus on for your paper. So go ahead and go to the content section of your Blackboard, click on that, it'll bring you to this screen. Then go ahead and scroll down. Now you'll recognize that Chapter 11 PowerPoint is here. That is the basic PowerPoint that comes with the learning materials. However, I went ahead and summarized the chapter because there were things in the textbook that I thought needed some expanding on, and there were some inaccuracies in the book as well. So I went ahead and I made a Chapter 11 PowerPoint quiz, and that's what we'll be doing the next lecture on. But this one we're going to focus on how to write a research paper outline. Now your thought paper had its own outline, but this is completely different. So we'll go ahead and pull that up. The basic outline of a paper. You're going to have different sections to your paper, but you've already collected your sources. You did that before midterms, and you got a grade for that. Those research articles that you need, I believe it's 5 minimum, you will need those for your final paper. Now, your research articles, we've gone over how to do that in Anywhere Access. If you need refreshers of that, just look in the content page. You're going to find everything that you need to go back and refresh your memory on that. So it's broken up in introduction, body, and conclusion. So there's 3 elements to your paper. Let's break them down. First of all, let's go down to the bottom of this page. I just wanted to point out this is a good page for you to work out the ideas of your paper. You can click on this and type. You can get rid of the lines, but it's a good place to go and kind of organize your paper before you write it, so you know that it's a really good that it flows well, and that's important that you do that. Somebody visited me at the window. Now at the top, when you're writing a paper, I know a lot of you are sitting there looking at the screen going, how am I going to write this paper? I don't know how to pull this together. So this guide will hopefully help you do that. Start with an introduction. The introduction should have something to do with the following. It should have something to do with the paper, all the paper articles that you gathered, that there should be a theme that agrees with something that you believe. But you want an attention grabber, and the best way to do that is to find a story or an example, or throw in some really good statistics that'll catch our attention when you start to read the paper. Maybe something from history. Anything to kind of grab the reader so that you don't just run into the paper and start quoting stuff and you kind of get lost in the paper and you're like, where are they going with this? Keep it personal. Keep it, try to eliminate words like I believe, I feel. It's a statement paper. So you want to be able to say, this person stated, this person felt this way. You know, you can say words that, you know, the data encourages this theory, stuff like that. But try to avoid the I comments, like I feel this and I feel that. So then you want to give an overview of the issues within the subject. So, and you want to define key terminology needed to understand the topic. Now, what does that mean? Basically, what that means is you want to do an overview of your paper. Like, let's say I had 5 papers on dogs, okay? And as I'm reading these articles, I realize, okay, one person's talking about the health care of a dog, the mental health of a dog, the grooming and caring of a dog, and then the 4th one's kind of mixture of a couple of the other topics. So you kind of have a general overview of what your paper is, and this is where you want to break it down. You want to kind of say, you know, these are the elements, you know, tell your story, then bring the elements of the paper, kind of rev us up for wanting to read more of your paper. Keep our attention. You want to quote sources or paraphrase sources revealing controversial nature of subject argument paper only. I'm not gonna hold you to that. That's not important for this paper. But I do want you to highlight background information, any research that you found exciting or that stood out to you as you read it. Bring that up here. Now, tell us what your overall paper focus is and main points in that first paragraph in your introduction. So let's go down. Okay, so here we go. Here's the introduction, possible ideas for the paper. This is where I want you to start brainstorming with your paper and go, okay, what are the possible ideas? What are things that I find? You add lines to this. Go ahead. Just press return. You know, do what you have to do to put all your stuff in here. Don't leave this to the last minute, guys, because I'm going to grade hard on this because you've got a really good outline. I've told you exactly how to follow it, but if you just want to do your own thing, you know I will grade on the BS factor, but not on this. I want to see your work. I want to see that you really, really tried, because it's important, because it will help you in every class that you have from this point out, and it'll give you a leg up, and that's what I want. That's what I want to be able to offer you, something to guide you through the rest of your college career here at TU, and on. You know, you'll learn more about AP as you go along, and if you go into the master's level and beyond. But this will get you through the basics, and of course other professors will add other elements as well. So once you've got your introduction and your basic idea, this takes a while, okay? Because you have to read your research papers, highlight things that are interesting to you to bring together your introduction. So think about that when you're doing your paper. Now, the body. You want to present main topics that match your thesis. So what's a thesis? It's 1 or 2 sentences in length, and it basically talks about the overall of the paper. Now we use the example of a dog. So let's say all those articles that I talked about a dog, let's say my thesis was, I feel that dog health, dog grooming, and dog training are important elements to the overall mental health of training a canine. That would be my thesis, because I'm pulling together all the information. Now, an easy way to break up your paragraphs is in your thesis go, okay, I want to talk about the dog grooming, I want to talk about the dog health, I want to talk about, and each paragraph is going to be a different subsect. So to show you what I mean, see here, the body of your paragraph, your first thesis statement, okay, so I feel that the overall training of a dog is important to its mental health. So training. And see, as you type this, it generates. So if you type on the end like that, so you can fill it in that way as well. So the training of mental health for your canine. I spelled canine wrong. Okay, that would be my first one. The second one, I want to talk about the diet, maybe. And I spelled it wrong again. So as you're breaking down your subjects and your paragraphs of your body, you're already grouping the information that you have from your research paper. So look through all your research papers for stuff on grooming. Look through all your research papers on stuff on diet. Look on all your research paper for stuff on training. I mean, this is the example for this one, but based on what you want to research. And just start listing stuff that you found in the quotes. Like put quotes here, put stuff that you need. Let this be your resource, so when you write the paper, everything's right here. That you just have to refer back to the page. And if you're smart about it, you'll have your citations on here too, so you can just pull from them when you need them. Your paper writes itself this way. It's a good guide. You want to clearly present your points in the thesis. I feel that dogs do this, and then you write a whole paragraph about why training is important. Give strong examples. As according to the research of Bill and Dunn, dog training has promoted mental health in dogs and shows a bond between man and canine. Boom. There you. And then you put the quotation in sentence quotations, or you write the whole paragraph and you give them the citation at the bottom, like we learned in class. And paraphrase things. Always put things in your own words. Do not copy, guys, because of plagiarism. And we don't want to break the honor code at TU, because once you do that, you're on that bad kitty list, and we don't want that. So, and then your conclusion, you're basically going to restate your thesis in a different way. I feel that dogs are better off if they have training, blah, 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 and grooming, blah, blah, blah. And then boom, you're done. And then briefly summarize each point. So you go back and you just, in your own words, summarize just key phrases, a couple paragraphs, and then end with a clincher, something that ties it all together, maybe something that leaves us with a thought, and this is the way that, people have done it for centuries, and if you want to be a good dog owner, blah, blah, blah. Additional tips: decide on your thesis and your main points first. We already talked about that. You do not need to start writing your paper with the introduction, not at all. You just want to use this platform as a way to guide you through your research, so that when you do write the paper, all you have to do is refer back to it and the ideas will just start flowing because you've already done your homework. Now, if you wait to the last minute, that's not going to be as easy to do, so keep that in mind. So enjoy this. I know it'll be a guide for you, and I hope it'll help. And again, here's some conclusion ideas, rewording your thesis. Type that in there. So that's basically the outline of the paper, and I hope that helps. Now let's click over here. No, we don't want to save those changes. Let's go up for ADA requirements for your paper. So we have everything on one PowerPoint. Okay. Make sure you have the running head at the top of your paper. We discussed that before. I don't think I have a copy here, but I know you have your copy that I gave you as a handout at the top. If you don't have a copy of that, get one from your classmates. The in-text citation rule. Here's a good example. According to Honan, 1987, Austin's quote, "Flirting has been guided by her squeezing of a situation for possibilities never in it." And then you make sure you put P, not page, P-A-G-E or PG. Make sure you put in brackets P.110, whatever page it is, and then a period at the end. And that's to quote things in your paper. So going back to the paper, while I'm talking about dog training, I want to say, well, Dr. Hansen, in his research in 1987, noted that dogs respond well to training, and they're more responsive to that than negative reinforcement or positive reinforcement. And then I quote the page, and there you have an in-text citation quote. Remember summarizing article information. Instead of spewing a whole bunch of statistical information, make it your words, quote them, and summarize their stuff. But at the very end, make sure that you give them their proper citation at the bottom. And let's say this was my paper, it would be Barnett, 2014 at the bottom. And I'm seeing that that is not on here. So we will add that. We did it in class on the PowerPoint that we handed out. We did the worksheets. But those of you that weren't there, you're going to have to get the information from your peers for that one. Okay. So there we have it. I'm about to start the other presentation, but that's basically the overview of your paper. Refer back to this when it's paper final time, which is not that far away. And good luck. And if you need any help or assistance with anything to do with the paper, please let me know, and I'll guide you through that. But look to those two things. Look to how to write a research paper and ADA requirements for the final paper, because that's going to guide you through the rest of it. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you, and I'm about to do the other presentation now.